We get just a few more seconds for then we start this very important weekly government, press, and civic engagements. Alright, the people are really full with a big sound. We are on top of all my devices there now. This attempt for the devices they all be in the silent mode or you turn them off completely. Thank you very much. It's exactly 2 p.m. Today, 15th April 2025. I want to welcome all to the weekly government press conference we also use for civic engagement. Today we get a very high-level panel for providing updates on 2 critical security-related issues. Number 1, an unfortunate fire incident happened. We the State House in Central Leone. We don't bring up 2 of the top people across government. One person responsible for the immediate response, and the other person will look at disaster management in the country. We can provide updates to the people of Salone. I also proud to say today we get here my colleague, the Honorable Melrose Committee, whether the Minister for Social Welfare, who will deal with the fire situation that we talk to social welfare, we deal with another issue in America security related. Because some of the migration issues here we deal with their security problems. And we will kind of discuss, and we will also get 1 or 2 of the Salone brother and sister as well for spotlight some of the issues there we talk about. As usual, I want to take this opportunity to tell thank you to members of the Forty States. They always cover the press conference, the print and electronic media. I want to thank you for your support. I want to say thank you to all the people that we particularly help we for that we bring this press conference back to the people of this country. We partner them, Sierra Water, Africell, particularly Orange, and VSO, and plenty others they will also be as the press conference is done. Special thanks to UNDP, who are helping for state this case, the Chinese government for their support to be. Now, I'd like to quickly about the news updates and country. Since last week, His Excellency President Julius Malabio today the whole State House for to do a personal assessment of the damage with the fire because the State House with the fire incident on Saturday, 13th April 2025. His Excellency will tell thank you to the respondents there and he said he look forward to the investigation to establish a true cause of this fire the situation going forward. The Honorable Vice President Dr. Mohamed Jumejalo said to praise the interagency response team for the swift and diligent efforts following that fire outbreak the way it happened in the State House on Saturday. In other news, the Honorable Vice President will also commend PC Holdings Limited on the historic signing of that 12 million loan facility with the International Finance Corporation to support the company in large-scale onion farming projects at Lokomasama and Putloko districts. This farming proposing a part of President Bill's commitment to feed Salone and with its private sector investment to show confidence in the work with His Excellency they do and the measures that we don't put in place for the country. The Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Alpha Say ESQ and indemnity, Madam Saptu is the Sakor ESQ, then they hold one special strategic meeting with the leadership of the Salone Police for strengthening the country in response to sexual and drug-related crime. And then we talk about how they work together for make sure we reduce particularly violence against young people in the school system. In other news, we have been seeing over the weekend, Fox Africa will feature Salon, very special edition, will feature the leading people at Salon will work on innovation and transformation, and we underline the big role with different entities they play in the country, in the private sector, in the public sector, members of governments, and all that, for contribute to what they call a transformation we President building needs as a road. And it highlights companies like Marathon, CTC Mining, and others, where they say like sign up economic climates in the country. If you don't watch the edition, I encourage you to pick up a copy online and see the Forbes Africa latest edition with a salon at the front page. The President of Kosovo and His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, they hold a special meeting during the Antalya Diplomacy Forum in Turkey. When I know say His Excellency attend this diplomacy forum, the way we did it, we get plenty important meeting with other world leaders there. And the final one, and that His Excellency in the keynote, we go na this conference na Istanbul, Turkey, even call on the world leaders there for them work hard for transform the international system, especially the UN Security Council. You see, the council that I outdated, as we know, was one of the leading figures in the world. We call for reform of the global order. And we go again at this diplomacy forum. We will make a very persuasive case for why the world needs for reform. So now we get, for now, as part of the news updates, we happened last week. I want now to talk to a panel from a far right, again, Lieutenant General Itai Ibrahim Assisi, and the Director General for the National Disaster Management Agency. Next to me, of course, against those committee, the Honorable Minister of Social Welfare, and then on the left, I will call a national hero, somebody who been vet for this country for years, they call attention to some issues that we now capture the country attention. Mr. Dazi Kabandabongi, who is the Chief Fire Officer for the National Fire Force at the Republic of Sierra Leone. Mr. Kabandabongi, and you will start with. Everybody wants to know. Saturday, we all the weekend and the general the top general in the married, and the chilling. Yes, instead of chilling. Everybody you remember outside the day, when somebody call you and tell you, hey, fire, they are the seat of power that we country, State House. You see plenty news, some fake news and all that. You are the authoritative voice as the primary respondent. I'll use this opportunity to brief the public. What's happening? Who send the call car, what you do, how long it take, how it affects the fire, the extent of the damage, and we think that our assessment so far of the cause of the fire. We focus on landing first, State House, first question. I guess a couple of follow-up questions for you, but go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister, and thank you very much, Sierra Leoneans, for our patience and the idea state in our different areas now for able for new updates. See, I also go on the personal website. I will start by saying exactly which time start. precisely around 3:05 on that fateful day, we get a warning call to the National Fire Force since State House day on fire. And what we do, we dispatch 2 of the new fire engines immediately for rush go at the scene. And when they reach, they aim for look for say some parts, not to the entire State House, some parts are installed in the 4th floor, the day on fire. And that we therefore generates interest in the fire service. And from that, we take about 10 minutes for you for entering the State House. We don't do that initial assessment. They don't send feedback to all commanders around Western area. We begin the operation immediately. The 2 engines then attack from 2 different plants. While the different attack, we able to marshal all our fire engines. Then all fire engines we are available by the Western area. Watch that fire scene. So I mean, before it is even 4 o'clock now, all the fire engines then we did it. And in fact, it will interest me for say, me personally as chief officer, I may lead the operation. I may lead the operation from start so till we finish the particular operation. And when we get at the operation, we fight the fire. The intensity of the fire is on the 3rd floor. Yeah, the 4th floor are 1 or 2 offices then. But at the 3rd floor, and like I say, are just within that inside what we call the West Wing, the central part of the West Wing. So not to the entire West Wing will be fire, not the entire East Wing will be fire. Whoever will meet the fire, will tell how we should see the fire will move away from there or go to other wings and will destroy other areas. We see the fire in that particular area and make sure to be stabilized away. Yes, the operation takes me a very long time. To many people, then it takes me up to 4 hours because now 7:15 and we actually extend the operation. But during that fight, a lot of activities take place. We therefore use, like I say, all fire engines at the Western area. We therefore draw a 20,000 liter Bowser for Boomer for able for cancer support and government. Able for draw police firefighters and ports come with 2,000 liter fire engine. Let's say can support the operation. So we all believe it, and by our Almighty grace and it's the professionalism of the man, we aim to bring that fire under control. You don't extend go past outside the day at the time of the issue. We did it and we able for us the fire. So now as to the extent of damage against the hearts, like I say, the 3rd floor, some offices there burned. Some were nearly burned completely, some were nearly partially burned, some of the offices there. Then the 4th floor and all the 2 offices there will become affected. Then the stairway will go right up after the 4th floor. One small stairway will go down the collapse. During the firefighting, some firemen will try to ascend it for go extinguish some other fire. It collapses we all. In fact, me said that one of the people will collapse it. But we all need a protective kit. I know you dress like that dress so for me talk Mr. Minister in camera. I believe in real firefighting kit. So when it collapses, we all just drop and everybody move about and try to bring the fire under control. And I want to use the opportunity to thank everybody, the NDMA, the police. You see one thing of fire, when you get serious police control, especially inside the IGSS every day, when you make sure to take over traffic control management, we not get that problem before when they run up and down, we go for a time and they do we get traffic problem we get full coordination, we able for all that fire with every type of professionalism we will get.
Thank you very much, sir. I want to just see us as a Sierra Leone, as the citizen of Sierra Leone, and as the spokesperson for the government of Sierra Leone. I want to put on record deep admiration and gratitude to you and the members of the National Fire Force. Good Friday have for months. Few people there. Then they wear some kits, they won't go inside it. That's the definition of heroism. I've been getting the privilege for good day, just in the middle of some of our operation, and I witness you personally, the day kids a day up day defects this fire. You deserve the country in respect, the country in appreciation, and the country in support. Because if not for Una, the work Una do, sometimes that fire they will not take over the entire building, jump across other places. But because of what you just explained, that did not happen. Now, I want to tell a story here because I want the family know the facts. First day, you just explained, you get the call about 3:05. In between 10 and 15 minutes, fire force did not deploy at the sites. Two of the new, take note of the word new, that means again new fire engine. You know what we know already did it. They start the process and they realize the fire, a big fire, it requires in the building complex, not so, it requires additional support. And this is the seat of power. When I mobilize and get every single fire station in Western urban and Western rural for can send whatever equipment they get for join you for feds. One thing we know mentioned directly, but our family know, nobody not die. Nobody not sustain a major injury, as we know, including as my area. One of the steps they collapse in the day when the step collapse and they all come down. Why? Because government will not provide protective equipment where they be wearing. We help them in that fight day where they defend this fire. When they reach the fire in the third and fourth floor, the effects will keep the fire from moving away from the third and fourth floor. So they contain the fire at the fourth floor and they fence until the fire be done. I mean, the when you can't do now for say the fire will not get confidence, so will not extinguish. The Honorable Vice President will be the Chief of Police, NDMA General CCBD, and others. I want for you just remind me how long it take in total for fight this fire, and then the Honorable VP will call me into a meeting and give you another task with a part of our job. First thing in the morning, you go back inside State House. When I've been doing preliminary assessment, plenty people don't talk about waiting cause the fire speculation day. You are the professional. Please share with the public with a professional view on the cause of the fire. You can start with how long it will take on for fight the fire and then what you do, and then how to come to that conclusion on a professional view, preliminary for now, on the cause of the fire. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. We use exactly 4 hours, 10 minutes. Remember, I tell you, I say we get the call at 3:05. And at 7:15, we don't exit the operation. And that's now, are they up when I talk with the Honorable Vice President directly, and they right at the top of State House, when I tell her now, say the operation don't do. And it is so instrumental in knowing waiting they can happen. So in order, say, as you can do, if I meet, that make I shed tears. I not ever meet up that kind of experience in my life. As I come down from the Honorable Vice President, all ministers that were present, including the brother, the Minister of Information, they were all down there waiting for me at that State House garden, the State House lawn, for him to come talk to them. And I nearly shed tears because that was the first time for him to call me national heroes. But then, I'm not the one for John a hero because State House they go. Yeah, and we do it if we supposed for do professionally. Now, as to the cause of the fire, you see, I will tell you categorically clear, or say in my opinion and the opinion of the entire fire service, we believe say this is not electrical fire. But not to electrical fire, we get something for do with MP or EDSA or whatever. This is not electrical fire, we get for do with the appliance that we use inside the building. We able for do a lot of research at the building after, because one of the vice president don't do the order, so for do all the research, and we able for look at the site that we want. We meet up, plug them, we switch on. We meet up, plug them, then extension, then we normal extension that we buy. Some then they of very, very low standard. I mean, you can buy extension today, you connect them, you feel say now bad electricity, but now the extension we buy the material. You see, the extension then are rubber. Now rubber then take for insulator. So if the insulating power of that particular material become compromised for any whatever reason, it begins to fire. We realize say plug them the day maybe they still on. We realize say even ACs, we beat up 1 or 2 ACs the day will be they on. Yeah, as of the time. So looking at the electrical connections then will be there now ground and scatter and the wall them and others. Lead we for able for now begin to check, go cable to cable, the trace what you call fire behavior. I mean fire behavior, I'm not going for explain everything about fire behavior inside this program. It took me 6 months now waiting for able for study fire behavior. But using the fire behavior technique and be able to know the movement of the fire, that make me logically conclude or say this is an electrical fire based upon the appliance system, what you can call, normally we call it the applied load. They call it this building, they don't belong. This AC which now applied load. All the ACs and all the electrical material they now applied load. Now, the building is supposed to carry a particular load. If you overload them, it will cause fire. Then, if you put boku cable, then we see now some of the offices then, you know, that state house, the floor, then that third and the fourth floor will be there. Now, both floor. Now, so then the building in ancient time. Now, carpet then they pray on top. When I would have state house, you can work on top of the carpet, you don't go see now both floor. So when you put carpet on top of the wood floor, how do they fix the carpet then? Then a vote stick and the break first, and then put the carpet because you don't want carpet then for the move more. A vote stick now highly combustible material. When that one they meet fire, in fact that will be one of the reasons why make the smoke, black smoke will go all over because the carpet then and the vote stick will be able for act as accelerants. For accelerate the spread at which the fire will go. We'll be able to know that quick and some of the affected will be able to wrap off so that we'll be able to bring the situation under control. So authoritatively from the fire point of view as chief officer of this republic, I see with an authoritative parliament, I get all the facts. You see, when we talk, I don't already write the entire fire report. Always I talk so now waiting the inside this fire report. We are not already forward. Authoritatively speaking, an electrical fire we get to do with electrical malfunction of appliance that will be done inside the building.
Thank you, sir. Malfunction of appliances within the building. Now the professional view of the chief fire officer in the Republic of Salo, so that the reason why we come here and say this is so that we will show President commitment, transparency, and freedom of information that people have a right to know. That's the people's house. And also so that we will avoid fake news and dabaru. Some people want to go and create something. Now, just to be clear, and I can't out to say, the Honorable Vice President we also set up a response team. The response team get 3 major tasks. One, they take this report now, then they conduct a larger investigation for see if the appliance is there. They want to give a professional opinion, also a view on it. The investigationer will say, okay, this appliance, with this apple, now somebody do it by willfully never or not, now negligence, now whether negligence, now mistake, now this, okay? Waiting happen leading up to, waiting happen on the day, and waiting we will learn from that. One part of the investigation with the team with the people set up. The team includes law enforcement, NDMA within IR, professional engineering, private engineering firms have been invited to join that team. Ministry of Works and Public Assets in that team. So we'll look at all that. The second task, that for them to assess the extent of the infrastructure damage to the building. And now suitability for work. Because like I said, the smoke will go the next day, will go the smoke will all choke. All go inside. This was a day after. So for check, okay, let's not happen to the foundation of the building now, how we will use that, we say everything. We don't mention, see, other floors were unaffected, including the floor with the house, normally the office of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone. So those, they therefore now do all that assessment, and within a week, they will provide the reports to the Honorable Vice President for onward review by His Excellency the President. Third task, we they get, now for now we recommend. Wait here, for learn from this, wait for do different, and wait here, for do for ensure recovery, rehabilitation, use of the building. All of that, this government, in the spirit of transparency, will come back and report to the people of Sierra Leone. General, as NDMA, una self immediately get calls. When disasters they may happen at this scale, NDMA they play a critical role. Maybe that starts by asking you, let people in the family understand. NDMA the role and the role on play on the day. And anything we want to share on the patterns of disasters, will you don't observe as a professional and we think we all need for do. So we'll give you like 7 minutes. Then you do that before we don't look to the Honorable Minister. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Viewers and listeners, good afternoon. As the Chief Fire Officer don't say, the incident we get the information about the fire at State House. Then I put the rapid team, response team together and instruct, we headed by the whole director, Director of Relief and Response. Let's go on the site immediately. And when everybody, they meet the fire, the fire force already don't begin try for put the fire out. Then the head of the team, where the director, informed me and tell me say, DJ, this fire is serious. So immediately I left what I do so that myself rushed to the site. And indeed, when I reached the site, I really don't see the fire being serious. The chief fire officer don't tell you how long it takes for put out the fire. But I also want to talk about the coordinated efforts will happen around the vicinity of State House to make sure say this fire will fight effectively and put them under control. Several other organizations, agencies, ministers of government, including the deputy minister, which is lawyer, so they did it, the minister, they did it, some staff of the State House, including the president, the secretary to the president, the chief of staff, the facility manager for that building there, and other key staff there. The Center of Intelligence and Security Agency, EXA, the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces, in fact, about 3 generals in the on site. the Sierra Police Brigade, including the IG himself, Guma authorities as well in Dede, ministers, as I don't say, deputy ministers, and others. Another key person will be there, the Honorable Vice President. Himself been there on the ground. When disasters occur, we can activate what we call the incident management system. Inside this incident management system, no sooner than it happen, you appoint an incident commander where they take care of the side way people who get access to and where they don't get access to. Well, as the most senior individual who been there out yonder, that is the way the Honorable Vice President, he assumed the role, he automatically assumed the role of the incident commander because he was directing issues professionally that day. So I want to say thank you for that. I want to commend the efforts of the National Fire Force. In fact, on that day, to be honest, the Chief Fire Officer in SSF become a firefighter. He was right there. And it not be easy for them because it was not to be working time. So offices were closed. So some side they for them gain access, then get for break doors. And that again takes some time. So indeed, they do a lot of sacrifice. So I think say as Sierra Leoneans, we need for commended displaying the highest degree of leadership and loyalty. Thank you very much, Chief Fire Officer. We all admire that day. You know, the Honorable Minister don't talk already about the thing that we government put in place already, the investigations that we get for go on, and including forensic investigation as well, so that we will know who signed for put blame or who signed not for put blame. But I just want to talk generally now about hazards and the country. Last year, we've been inundated with building collapse. Series of building and collapse, and especially Freetown. We get about 14 buildings that we collapsed last year. And almost except one, but all the fatalities we suffered last year, when I mean 31, all are due to building collapse or fence or wall collapse. This year don't start. We don't begin with fire incidents. And it is becoming serious by the day. That not only for Freetown, but even in the provinces. And most of them fire, they are so really happen. To be very honest, the human factor, the inside the plenty. Waiting that we safely do, we not good with the make plenty at the happen. Honestly, fire when they catch for itself. If somebody not trigger, even the upline fire they will get. Now bushfire people then they go push. Now fire they come on a bush at all. Like that serious fire in Kuchima. We all know a reporter. We over 40 houses destroyed. People them farm products them, where they don't harvest. Put on and banks them, all go. Houses them go. So this year we don't begin with serious fires. For the NDMA, your point of view, we get about 78 different fires and we don't record. The fires of the National Fire Force is different though. Because then if each fire set the recorder, because they call them for body. But the one that we don't record, we will not do assessment of, is about 78 fires across the country. And that is alarming.
This is not from January to
now.
Okay.
January to now, this first quarter of the year, it's really alarming. We therefore pay attention to which they really do. For now, we make sure that we try to stop the entire so. I don't see most of the things that will happen with them fire disasters here. Now, human-induced fires and they'll go. With the left with houses them, with the left with AC them on, with the left with fridge and freezers them on, with the left with other electrical appliances them on. To be very honest and bad habits, we need for put them off. When we come back, we put them on. If honestly, even we wife them, mama them, we auntie them, when they prepare 4-5 days soup, if you don't get enough ice during the weekend, you can put your filter off or you can put them on. So you cannot develop back the ice before they clean. So we don't get no reason why actually for left anything that they on. We need for pay attention because the lost way we suffer when fire happen. It's difficult for a place. It's really, really difficult for a place. So we therefore pay attention, you know. We don't do certain things then we plan. Every year, this document was also now the annual hazard calendar what we produce. If you look at them, you go see at the center, you see that fire. So from January to December, fire and hazard in this country. In cuts right across. In other areas, you will see say bushfires in the north, yes, limited to January to March. March to May, you get some other bushfires in the south, some other windstorm begin from May to July because that's when the rain don't begin to come, breeze they blow heavily. Then you get flooding where they start from July, August, September. We call them the just months. July, August, September. Then they now floods them. Then we get. Then you get floods and windstorms again. We will continue which we till to then November before we will say we don't rest more. But no sooner we rest, fire don't pick up this year. So we therefore make sure we pay attention to what we do with fire. And we appeal specifically to the woman there. Because they play more with fire in the house. Some people can just left them cold pots in the backyard. They say go out for himself. If breeze can blow that one, they send them in the house. A fire. So we undertake a lot of activities as an agency. We do continuous engagement. Now the various media houses, radio and TV, for sensitize people on fires and how to prevent them. So be careful with that. You know. Then we also do a lot of advisories we give to communities around. We use volunteer system. When they in the hazard areas, the areas that we think say they prone to them kind of thing, and they let them talk to them. Especially areas outside, we almost get communal type of living. Then now host to host. Difference on yourself. We cough now, you don't say the other person there. So as you see fire happen, you get that domino effect. So in 90 make a reason they say 50 houses they're born. Now 50 structures, makeshift structures, now they're born. But now because of some of the areas they would live, some of the slum areas they would live. So we therefore we strategies around that as I talk. We air jingles and so many other things like the radio and television. Some of them are with all free lines are active, 1199. Now all the 3 networks in the country.
1199?
1199.
Alright.
Yes, now it's all free line. We don't activate the situation room so that at every one time people are available for respond to them all the day and for take action so that we will go there, you know. And we also require the society itself. And especially we within here, the journalists here, members of the 40 states, we are getting a lot of role for play. For Lord will all help and spread the information as well. Lord will reduce the disasters. We don't want let the disaster happen because the effects it too much.
Yes.
And mostly you know we will recover from our completely. Government can say now support you, they can't support you. But you know we'll give you everything. So the advice that we pay attention to what you say.
Alright, thank you, General. Thank you very much, General, at the head of NDMA, the National Disaster Management Agency. Madam Minister, just before I come to you, I want one quick follow-up question on the data. The NDMA chief said they know record 75 fire. 78. See, man, pay attention. And then they pay attention. Test. So I won't pass this test. Give me your data. Fires for body and stats.
Yes. Thank you very much,
much.
Mr. Minister. We we dey record every fire. I mean, NDMA record what they call critical infrastructure. We dey record everything. We data dey show say from January, February, and March, 201 fire. And fire first confessed right across the country. 201. And the breakdown is as follows. Western region, we record 119 fire incidents. Southern region 35. Northwest 19. Northeast 19. Northwest 6. Eastern region 32. We make 201 fire from January to March. From where we begin April, we don't record 15 fires, including the unfortunate incident at State House.
So that means we talk 216
fire incidents
from January to April.
Exactly.
And that included 34 fire this morning?
Yes, sir, including 34
Okay,
fire.
so we also refer to that fire this morning. I call you immediately as well. And they do this work. Okay, thank you very much. Again, I can let for someone and say, not to so you have been doing. Yeah, and not been this so. Proactive disclosure of information and President Bill sets the standard that we as a government forgive public information. Now I come to the colleague, the Honorable Minister of Social Welfare. Madam Minister, the social welfare sector is critical. In fact, plenty of the security and other challenges that we get connection with this sector. Today, I want you 10 minutes in total because I want to take 5 minutes and I need to have a total this time on for me. So the minister will see us in 10 minutes. I want to keep it to the 10 minutes. I want, Madam Minister, let's spend the first 5 minutes. Let's just give you a top line status of your sector. And then the other 5 minutes, I don't say you want to talk about temple or you want to talk about with brother and sister the way you go with the bring up. Just yesterday, you've been dealing with one situation where they bring a whole bus for months, I think at Mauritania, for comeback salon. So give me an update on the sector and then update me on this situation. You get the 10 minutes. Go ahead, Minister.
Thank you very much, Minister Sipa, and thank you, Fambudem, where they listen and the one that we present here. I'm glad for the this program. And also just for say generally, the Ministry of Social Welfare they deal with the rights and well-being of the less privileged, the one that we call the vulnerable people. So now in the ministry we get different directorates and we get family welfare. We of course they deal with Mama and Papa Pekin, and then one we keep a palava over Pekin, and that one say the maintenance for Pekin, then they all do the deal with Ayanda. We also get mental health directorate, where of course the famous push fight, where we are able for open a rehab center now Hastings, and we also they on the open a bow and down, and we don't rehabilitate mostly college and school picking them and send them back to school and send them back to college. Even people that we don't come out of this country, we don't come and can't benefit from with services then what we provide. We also deal with the social and religious affairs directorate where they talk about disabilities, the aged, of course this migration, what we can talk about, and religious affairs and disability issues. We try very hard and we don't begin rehabilitate and some center for them to make sure say we people they not only depend on begging, street begging. We want to make sure say themselves involved in viable economic activities where at least they will go learn a trade. So through we partner then UNDP, we don't able for do one na Makeni, the other one na Eastern Yala, and just recently we also don't get a fund where we fed for and New York Yala, and the Indian government will give Salom $1 million for them to be able for to rehabilitate different training centers who side them with people who only live with disability. At least they will go learn something, so that will only be begging, because both of them they suffer because of that kind of thing. So we try for help them economically, for them to be empowered. So we also make sure the government don't try for make sure the one they waiting at Panama Road because of the security threat and we try for relocate them. We did in communication with ONS and even the Ministry of Finance where they try for provide the resources. Of course, for let us begin that work there effectively when President Bill appointed me as the minister, which I do and work with the partners them and me office for them developing 5-year strategic plan, because this is not the documents where at least you therefore able for anybody who can go tell us say this is not the focus for the next 5 years. Now this are and these documents now what they do. Even just recently in January, we therefore organized a staff retreat who will develop the plan for the year, the annual work plan, and we'll do them across the country because Freetown not only no one as alone. Let people out there who need the services. These are social services we talk about. But putting a day as to what we do, where we people that out there understand for being beneficiaries. So we need for include them into the annual work plan and what we do every time. So we get the directorate of planning and policy. Of course, we get the agency, the Commission of Disability, where they under the ministry, and also we get the anti-human trafficking agency inside the under the, because President Bio being therefore support the enactment of the law, on anti-human trafficking, because the cow my brother talk no more is say na security issue. So we get that. We get that secretariat here where they look exclusively at that. And because of the thing they have, so we don't try as hard as possible for them to make sure say we put the policies and legislation framework in place. As I speak to now, we just don't go now when cabinet we don't pass on the social services, which is we don't try for pass them, and parliaments we don't do 2 sessions now. The last one, the social work regulatory bill, we get for pass them because we want for them, the social workers to be very effective, so that they will able for deliver the services in an excellent way. So when we give a license, if you don't do the right thing, would they? They seize your license, just the guy they happen overseas. This one, the social workers, they applaud and even Sierra Leoneans, because they feel say the rest of the world, they are now, we said for try hard for them we come in tune with the rest of the world. So we don't take that step that day. Even now, on the religious side, we don't notice say Sierra Leone is a religious tolerance country. We are applauded for that all over the world. But in recent times, we don't get skirmishes around inter and intra-religious faiths. Some of them therefore do with the internal democracies and the fight for power. Ola will be president of this, Ola will be this thing. So also religion don't clash with culture. We get an ugly incident where happen now the Kenma district, that area, the Usai, the bomb, the Bode Bush, and all of that. That was really serious. So what don't begin, watch the pattern and don't say, this is not good for the country. We don't come up and take to cabinet a cabinet paper where they ask cabinet for giving the okay for them to develop the first religious tolerance policy. And that one day, now there's self therefore take the driver's seat, because I don't also get religious people there where they come with complaints about different things there. And because there is no policy framework in the ministry, it's a huge challenge. So therefore, we engage them, all stakeholders, including the academia, including even government people there, everybody in this country, for them to come up with this policy, because what you do, now you get for guide the operations. So that tomorrow we're not going to wake up into something we're not really bargain for. We all the talk, we applaud Andy, but I tell you, we need for make sure say we put Andy in place. So today, So they are really one for very small on the migration issue. This migration issue is really serious for sister and brother the way they run for go look for greener pasture. I want to let them understand, say, the opportunities are in your country. If other man they make Canada, you self care will make her. Because the experiences where they get younger, where they come back, where they narrate, even you will not be dead, you will cry. Now that's happened to me, brother and sister, the way they bring her yesterday. And mostly these are youths. The age bracket of health checks. Because you know, say we say sometimes we be afraid now because of the health emergencies when they come up. So if they come on a country like that, we therefore make sure, say, they fit before they go into, the mainstream, to the communities. So we were able to do that yesterday. This ministry was seriously challenged with resources. We don't get money. The ministry will not generate income. But the ministry will need income. Because the social sector will therefore take care of it. Because they are the fabrics of this society. All this problem about push, all these things, now because the social services, we need for putting money. We need for make sure, say, with all countries, what they call developed countries today, after Ministry of Health to them, now social services, and now they are the highest paid. Because they so believe that if you don't take care of your people, like what President Leone do so, the human capital, President Leone puts a premium on human capital. If we not take care of young people, then we not build a society. And we want to build a society where everybody they thrive. So I want now let una listen to every one or two, let them tell una the thing, because I want let people that really pay attention. Because you when they run, tend to run, you go find greener pasture, you might be running a risk. But who don't die there? Then tell we say Boku in a prison. Then tell we say Boku left at the desert. So do ya family then I make a say then people you set candidate, then they can talk.
Alright, so we get, thank you, Madam Minister. We get two people that we bring. We are the one that we come for it yesterday.
Yes.
Now you come forward. We also come forward. Yes. Please, when I get a microphone for me, would I really honor? And yes. So what's I want to do quickly? We'll go now 1 minute and a half quick. Let's just briefly share with you your story, because one let family listen and you really challenge you the minister just talk about. You get 1 minute. Let's just quickly know what your story and talk to you myself.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
This is just a brief, just like what the minister will say. Really not easy. You understand? I left this country last year. My name is Usman Kamara. My name is Usman Kamara. I left this country last year, January 17, when I go Mauritania. And really, we don't go before that time. Because we just spend 1 year, and then the same call me. We said, I go inside. Because I asked them waiting. How the country day, so they explain to me, say, job them day, that's in the day. So if I go get a job, at least we will take care of my family. So we said, left, I go. So I spend 1 week, I go to go. Because I'm we use for go. But really not easy, actually, because the place too far. If you don't say, when I reach, I don't know, really easy. The food is always well, because you don't know what. So when I go there, at least you get for engaging, because the only job when I need to job, when I see your money, when I see a loan and building and construction, because they don't land enough fertile, you understand? Because I build house, sometimes it's 5 years, the house on
Usman. Usman, I want to ask you a nice question. Yesterday, I'm a cancer boss. What happened when you come back?
Then bring me come because of documents.
So they now know all up. All they put on herself.
Yes, some of we. Not okay, all. Some of we them all we them puts them na cell, them later them deport.
They put on inside boss and we wanna come back.
Of course.
So after all that suffer we don't suffer, you don't feel you go out there. And so they just capture that.
Yes. Let's say because of residential
let me talk to the sister. Sister, what are your name?
Yes.
Again, your mic. What are your name?
My name is Salima to the camera.
Salima, how you begin that name?
Yes, sir.
So now you begin bingo or now you go on?
No, sir.
How long did they or is it?
Well, me, I think 2 years, 8 months.
And Salima, too, will you come on here? You said now somebody said call you. We go. Why you left for go?
Yeah, somebody sent call me.
You get party, cousin, boyfriend, we tell you say like come on go Hosurianga.
Well, me and my own sister, my own small sister, they sent call me.
So we go tell me small bits about which you go see with the experience.
Well, first of all, waiting in service in a young community and not young community. Because in don't talk, I never
Hold the mic close to you one small yes.
Because me say, me know they ever come on and country for Google for any other person in country. I say, no, it makes me sister, no, yes, with the money, I pass real money, and you know, see one for that because we don't get family really help me. We papa will get in on that. So, I want you can country and to count so that we go make our own return back, we go further with us over for I say, well, I never, so he convinced me, you know, able me, so he able me, man. So when you able me, man, and then the man talk to me, and I say, well, I will pay for you, let you go.
So you money left here and then you go?
Yeah, first, the man first left here and that.
Okay. And then the man said, go join you later?
Yes.
So waiting up where you did, and then I want to quickly, waiting up where you did, how the struggle the way you go through until you come back to. Yes.
Me, the struggle about to be a lot, I don't be resting now.
Give me small bits.
Because one, the payments when I say they pay, we don't go. Not when they pay, we that's now one thing first. Two, the way of living. And also okay for me. Because it comes that I do any, and I need any kind of way. Rentage can I mean 1 grain. Like because by then the man not be going like in a month and then by month. Then they pay the money they pay for month. Salon a 1 year rentage.
So you're not more expensive.
Yeah.
For living. So waiting up when they bring you come back.
Well, all of a sudden, like February 14, February 14, they just come with this strategy where they say they deport people from Mauritania. You get documents, you don't get documents. As long as you're not foreigner, they deport you. So that deportation, they go house to house. They go working place to working place. As long as you're not foreigner, they put you commodity and they can present you paper. You know they.
And then when they hold on, say they deport you now. Who said they hold on first before they put you on the exam?
Me like me, so me na me host.
So they arrest.
Not church.
And now church will be there. So they're holding a host, they lock the host by you?
When they knock.
No, what I mean, when they don't go arrest you, say they deport you. Then they hold you in custody first, they go lock on some side.
Yeah. They go to a police station, they there for some days until the country they want flog for them, they deport you.
Then how na come back na boss?
Well, they go left in the desert because Senegal and Mali and the band between them. So Senegal and say, me no go left in and they don't band. Then Mali and ask why they no go left in and they don't place. If they want to deport people, then deport them directly at the country. So then go left far off the border, the two borders, and then go left. So we said we stand. We until we go meet people where until we go meet people where they rescue we, where they go to in Senegal. Because one man say embassy in Senegal for Sierra Leone. I say well I don't to call. I say call like me so I get the faith, I get the belief. I mean they call it back the company back where they deport. I say well now I understand. Say no we go to the embassy. For let them go give you paper, for them to return back home. I said because this year so not you not care for can do any back.
So the embassy now put you on a bus camp.
Yes, sir.
I want just quickly on out to Usman start with you. When I message to your man, your woman, the way they salon, based on not just your experience, what you could see. I see salon people that they suffer and all. Whose message will you get for what are your man and your woman?
Let me go just talk to the people then they are lobbying state and country and do anything government for do. That way much because if you say it's hard to go under the country, easy at all. Especially now, easy at all.
Thank you. Sister, what may your message?
I mean, I am trying to be brothers and sisters in pregnant. As long as we know to legal or any other traveling, me and the advice, then nobody like what's the fully say, if the day so you give, I give the money, or you give the money for like the travel or time luggage for letting you go, you pay. And normally you do that, they becoming one of the victims with that happen too. So me I advise each and every one of you, if you know to Europe country or any other country advance, as long as Africa country, me and it advance, and it advise me brother and sister,
what's not illegal immigration? Elect na Europe, maybe not go because maybe you don't go Europe, it's me don't go. I don't.
It's not Europe. Me don't go.
Alright. Now wait. Now I'm making it mine. Alright. Now I'm making it mine. My sister in experience. Na Mauritania, no so. Na dey no see no so. Just like we be this Saloya, the one know the Mauritania, tell her they say Mauritania, fine, all okay, they don't so. Na make it grab. You go there, you go get bad experience. We tell you know, sister, that you go put the call. Like exactly the same thing. The people the way they are, where they say, oh, you are because what you show. Me, if I want to film of salon, I will show you all the fine thing no more. If you do all that, I will say, ah, God, I go make her. Europe, they get strong, they get prison there. Me go Belgium. I go Brussels. Years ago, with beginning, now they tell me, say, salon people they day. I go work salon people outside they live. I cry. Me own salon brother and sister them. They live per tap each other. And so they sleep. So they sleep at speeds. Then they run away all time because they can't arrest them. The shame and the fear for come back home. They don't want to deport them because they visit. They continue for us to that some in life, you don't so back on somebody left and he died. They bury that people don't know how to come out. They don't get no money, then they work, they do all job, the woman and they sell their body for them make ends meet. There's some man, in the day, it is suffer when months to defend $50 I send to your antenna just for them come ashamed for saying this day Europe. They go to smart before one building is snap. The message is clear. Illegal immigration, massive risk. It leads to bad outcomes. We not good for you, for your pikin, for we all. Waiting the minister don't come here for say today, we brother and sister on the explanation temple on to Mauritania. Then they suffer. When they're ready for deported, then they be in the camp. They go left in a desert, they abandon the day. Imagine that. You know who is all the safe people. They are here, now we are. No manage here, no bake here together, no join her. No clap for this sister. Thank you very much. We tell them thank you for where they come and for where they get encouraged for can share with us to now. Yeah? Alright, I want to tell Minister of Social Welfare, the Honorable Minister who's coming to plenty. Thank you. Now I can open up for questions. Some questions that we don't come in online, but I think say we don't address all the questions that we don't come in online inside the first part of the question that we don't the answer that we don't get so far. Somebody may ask me if any life been lost. we don't make a clear see anybody not lost in life. Somebody don't ask for the cause of the fire, we don't get the answer. Somebody will say, if you say the last stack and fire along Wellington, but don't teach you lesson. Say we need city zone and well-equipped fire stations until we do the needful. This will happen again. We can't ask the fire force, but put in a need. How we will support them and NDMA as well. We will ask kind of question, Dave. Somebody asked me that the link between EDSA and the fire. Save na bad lights. On this question, I see na radio the easier say Guma Valley, they send you what's not so. Guma Valley, they send what's can I use not so. If you get bad plumber, bad pipe, you hose, the pipe burst, water scatter all over your hose. Now Guma Valley goes on. Now Guma Valley then cause the fire. Similar thing. I must say X are not get fault too. Some tell and the else are get fault, But in this case, the analysis of the don't do the same for that Guma Valley problem. You pipe they don't fix fine. This not left on, this that. The pipe explode. Water floods and use. So important. What's make I talk this now for long stick to the facts. You want attack EDSA, we will join you one while EDSA be better. But by this one, not to EDSA send bad lights will lead to this fire. Okay? Let me see the hands. Don't concentrate now actually, so don't start here. Last week now we start. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You are there? Okay, 5. Okay, let's go quick.
Mohammed Usman Bangura, publisher, Capital Times newspaper. Mr. Minister, I want to plead that next time you invite EDSA because the going and coming of electricity cause this spark. In fact, EDSA not become a big room. The on and off don't cause a lot of disaster at this store. And they confirm that if to you, sir. So I really want to invite them now. Let them receive some charges from them. We don't fall as victims. Chief Fire, I want to compliment your efforts and if for a very long time, we will not have been teaching Maria. But basically, some of our stations they are predated. And some will go some part of the country, Gambia and other parts. I want to confirm to you, see, the fire engines are really the carcass. And also, when I respond to fire incidents and feature, very slow, sir. I want for innovating the lead to that slow response to fire incidents. Thank you.
Morning to Barasa. The watch and the inventing newspaper watch.
First, you want add new paper?
Personal.
Wash else one.
The humanity paper watch. Motto: humanity for mankind. I'm a minister of social welfare. As a former correspondent in Mauritania, I just want to speak to me and say, Mr. Minister, everybody present here. 85 I've met Sierra Leone and Mauritania both in Nouakchott and Nouadhibou in between yesterday and I called today as a correspondent. If Mr. Osman will tell me the truth I have, make it tell me say most of the way go and Abogon Nouadhibou, they cross go as far as by boat, which of course was impossible having it stranded. 1. 2. The Nouakchott where they talk about. Any black man who walk out, a black woman, then they are stopping for asking for marriage permits. You will admit that. The only one who are available for surveillance than Nouakchott, as you can see me clearly. The way you go see them, you go find surveillance, they make about left, that's the way they make so. Most surveillance are able for living. And most surveillance they don't mind, they will never come back home, but they try to because people are back where the people say don't cross to America. That is it. So what I advise now, no one join together for say no to that we can talk to them now. for passing it away. Now comes to the minister. Minister, me and you also, 65 years of university, I don't get a migration and deportation bill or act. What is this intended for? Yes, sir.
Forget migration, is it?
Migration and Deportation Act 64 years of university.
Okay, migration and deportation. Thank you, sir.
Bill or act, stately. Nobody talk about that.
All right.
Yes, sir. If with what you know, sir, we will take into consideration damages them. We're in the locals in this country. If the origin the name ETSA, get out of it because all the money for not paying the big tell us something about the voltage. Probably a technique or something. Whose voltage will let the go off? In the car on, in the car off. Appliances of all nations. What is that the capacity of the voltage will ETSA for make sure that they put follow me?
You mean specific to the incidents in the State House? Yes, all right. Go. Sarah, go.
Abraham Sarah Sisi, Voice of Salon Radio. And Mr. Bogisa, one know how many fire stations they cut across the country and how many fighting vehicles them wanna get with the at work now.
Honored Daybreak Festival Editor. This question is for the Minister of Information. I want to know whether there is a safety officer attached at State House to ensure that at the end of the day's work, all electrical appliances are turned off. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
No.
Abraham Lahai,
Wait. 1, 2, 3. Good enough, number 4. That be the woman, no? Okay, now you're 4. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yes, Ibrahim Lahai, the report for Radio Shalom. This question goes specifically to you, Minister Siba. We want to know specifically the office system way born at State House, because when you talk at it, this is very, very meticulously. And we want for me you make some clarity on some side that we happen. When the office be born, some partner State House before, we did see a post from Syria gliding in Facebook page, who said it can clear say the office of horrible cannibal killer been born, and he also been stated another office we born with secretary to the press secretary, is it? We want for may you be specific. Then report them all get out from Syria gliding. Now been true or not true at all? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Number 5.
Good afternoon. Mina Anarif, the report for Afghanistan. The question they go to Mr. Bonge. So with everything we don't see, you make account to the realization say the fire force authority will work very hard for say stop the fire. So the question is, what if they stop for they not put in that same effort put for State House for houses the way they bomb and
All right, then at the first round, I'll just go through the question then. The first question, you talk about ETSA, you say for invite ETSA car. We don't be very clear, see, this situation. By the way, the committee His Excellency, the Honorable Vice President said, includes ETSA. Okay? That committee include ETSA. The assessments include ETSA. But the professional view of everybody so far is that not to ETSA trigger. I don't say ETSA no one they cause fire. But this one, na be elected and also appliance related. Okay? So again, let us separate the facts from what we believe, because what we believe not means in a fact. Yeah? Very important. I did ask Mr. Boge the get question for you about equipment, on a capacity. I want to just talk about maybe giving an update on the capacity of the fire service. The brother asked about on our response rates, how quick will they be, and any challenges owner gets on that. Somebody said me asked whether this was voltage related. We don't answer this question, but maybe you want to just reinforce that. Then similar to that question, Lisa, about the capacity of the fire station. How many functional fire stations are there now? The vehicle the owner gets, and then the sister in question will lead to the laughter. I don't get some of these questions in the public. For example, when we announced yesterday, I go on the TV there and go report what the man say about the cause of the fire. Somebody say, so I get the capacity for determining cause so quick, I don't do the investigation. If any cities in Dinaya where things in state house are the same like in your private house, then that city is in something wrong with that. Anybody where thinks that the seats of power where fire go in, VP, we all are, we left with lives of go there, the states. If anybody thinks that are exactly the same for Apple, they can do the best on all situations. And I also mentioned something on radio. Every fire, the reason we make it get a report to get so, every fire incident they follow an investigation. Then go do an investigation. Then go ascertain cause. Then they under investigation into the police. Not to all you they pay attention to. Not to all they do press conference for. Because this year 200 and something fire already. If I do press conference for each one of them, you say no can have press conference day. The state owes, that's me the country owes. If anything happened to that state, the same people don't really talk to. I enter one studio, immediately talk say, how it don't take 24 hours, 48 hours now, they don't know the concept of the fire. This is the state house. We will put every measure in place for immediately give them this information. Now I tell the person, say, actually, I can't at the studio because I've been running at others. I can't, I just reach, I don't do all the other show them for go reports the official position we will get on the cause of the fire. Now that person say now, oh, so I am for know the cause of the fire. They go, you give information, you complain. You ask for, we complain. They respond on time, you complain. We have challenges as a country. It's true. The capacity where they're supposed to get fully, they don't get that. Only I day. But if fire, you pay me as a citizen for be proud. See fire happen at your state house. By the way, when I did Liberia, I think it was 2006, huh? You remind me today. Fire happened when they were hosting an international event. Heads of states were in Liberia. Inside a mansion. Major fire happened, they were completely destroyed. They had to rebuild that building completely. Notre Dame, one of the most famous buildings in the world, fire happened there in France. I just covered Denmark last month. One of the major iconic buildings in Denmark, fire happened there, destroyed the building completely. Fire can happen to anywhere. An accident. In this case, me as a Sierra Leonean, about to you, sir. I respect you and the people who affect the fire, who prevent them from overcome that building. You know, move over the 2 floor. Country they will get way more than we. Fire they happen, they take down entire buildings completely happen. In this case, we got it right. So applaud. fix the problem we're supposed to fix. Yeah? So I just want to get up immediately and I'll hand over to you. Let us talk about capacity and what we will not do so far for building capacity. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. On the issue of capacity, we don't able, you see, people that we don't follow the fire service, we're able for no for say. Last year, through His Excellency the President, Dr. Julius Mandabio, Fire Force be able for launch new fire engines in Africa. In fact, the Fire Force training school, now then we launch them fire engines every day. And that very, very day, we able for pass out a number of firefighters, new recruits, enter into the service. And within that particular week, the government gave approval for there we go into contract for additional fire engines. That contract they own for able to get additional engines. We don't already get approval for do additional recruits. That contract, that program they own. And I know say for people that we know say people they don't do application to Fire Force now. And then they go through the different processes. Now, inside this present administration, not less a person than His Excellency the President, when we begin to get, when President begin for you can say, not to Freetown, One and Bo and Kenima and McKinney, no more for enjoying Fire Force facility. Through President directives, we begin for build fire stations in other areas. We build Kailaun, we build Pigeon, we build Kabbalah, who are the first three. In fact, His Excellency the President, President Bio, na Ingo Commission, in first appearance na Fire Force, na for go commission the Kailaun Fire Station, where they right now in the South people live in that community. Yeah, we're able for don't build Pigeon, we don't build Kabbalah, we dey wait for commission them. We for don't commission them last year. But we're not able for commission the last year because the equipment there nobody don't come for them yet. You know, we just commission a building, you call up a fire station, you not get fire engine, you not get personnel. Then now ordinary, I mean, you just make mockery. I remember when President we go commission Kailaun, he asked me if people they want for get to Kailaun, waiting for you. I give them the call sign for Kailaun. Usai I give the call sign. President we elect for testings. I take a phone. Right in front of the public, we dial the number. Somebody in the control room answered, Fire Service Kailaun. And he was extremely happy. Now we don't build Kailaun, Pigeon, Kabbalah. We don't build one more station now the Western rural. In fact, now the Usai training school. We don't build a response center now that same training school. So now two, you get a training school at one side, you get a response center, what we call the Waterloo Fire Service, or you can normally, because na Simaton today, na Waterloo, we normally call it Simaton Fire Force. Currently, we don't finish for build Putloko, we don't finish for build Mabuka, we didn't back end for build Bond. There were a current infrastructural development then we didn't go on. And then stations there were don't call, not to them all get fire engines as of now. We get for no for say, waiting at the normally tell we big one them, and some people in there we don't hear even a budget oversight and other areas. Fire service business, not totally business, it has been neglected for a very long time. President Bio come and he decides say, let us put a wheel, let us begin the restart, let us begin. So now in effort we don't able for fix all that. Then even the airports, the national airports in this country, we go there right now with fire personnel them, where they under the command, making sure that people that when they go out and in inside this country, they're always safe. Yeah? Right now as we talk so, the fire safety bill and policy, for the first time for introduce the fire safety bill and policy, don't that policy and bill launch in a cabinet. Now cabinet before just send and go parliament, and then that's the end. We pass them into law. But in the wisdom of His Excellency and the Vice President and other members of cabinet, they therefore advise say this policy and bill we for send them back to the people for which they call popularization, so that the people then were able to put their opinion into the document, then were able to own the document, so that when the document will revert back to cabinet, it will get not only the opinion of the firefighters, it will get the opinion of Sierra Leone. And that popularization, now we do right now. We don't get everything set for the popularization. Once it is sanctioned, we will go on, we will begin engage people in Freetown, Abona, Makeni, Konon, everywhere in this country. We will engage everybody on the popularization. During the popularization, we will engage everybody for look at this bill and policy. So that when we send them back in the cabinet, it will be the view of all men in this country. And the view of His Excellency that we not for just pass a law like that. It's supposed all man for the water. Right. And that brings the popularization. So then somebody asks, they say Cambia station. Yes, we not get no fire engine at Cambia. No two cars, we not get. Cambia not get fire engine.
But station engine now we do
sensitization. The officer they will do the sensitization activities they never do. And the same thing they happen with Ujong. And the same thing they happen with Kabbalah. We get that station here, we not get fire engines yet. And that make actually say we did not try to get additional fire engines.
Right, okay.
We not get all. And I want to make while I close, Mr. Minister, I want to you able to know for say last year, country way past week, California get fire. And it take them close to 3 weeks. And fire will all be the follow. Close to 3 weeks for able to put that fire down. Inside Sierra Leone, the National Fire Force able for save the State House of the Republic in 4 hours. All the 4 hours. You know, even take me a day. We able to bring that fire day under control. I think that are some of the benchmark there. You asked me about what you say we slow for bringing a fire. Just look at Freetown. The road then, million business now for protect life and property. So when I come out at the fire station at breakneck speed, when I go, I make sure say the motorcar them waiting at the road. I get for the balance them. The human and vehicle and traffic at the road, I get for balance them. Yeah. Some area they then at this storm where now we call impassable road. Go down at Kobe, get fire at Kobe. It take me more than 1 hour for even reach down. Go right up the hill. Some side and the way we do disaster management and we don't holler so till we don't tire. Waiting make on they continue for billion that we would not the emergency service not be able for good. Yes, I will tell you now we not get all the fire engines we want. I will tell you now we not even get fire helicopter. We not get fire. Even the motorcar with the chief officer they ride. Now all one we I can always provoke Mr. Minister say that motorcar they I will get for Commander Leone. President change to you know. But then with all the limited capacity, the fire force don't start tall in them days here. In them few days here no more, Mr. Minister. When we come out in a State House, the very day we come out in a State House. Now we rush go then a Shalima. That very night,
yes,
Shalima is on fire.
Yeah.
We go in now Wataru. That very the next day, early morning, the next day, we didn't check Sako Keke compound. Instead of another fire. Limbakona, now another fire. This morning, now 34 minutes. Before I did come out, I change the close way at the well because I know I'm for cancer in fire combat. I therefore change for people for which I did program.
All right,
So
thank
the
you.
final person we know the arrest.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Commander Bukegina, as I say, national hero. The number for the fire service is 300 to 312. You say you can call 300, 301, 302, 303. Dial any one of that number there, you will get the fire service from 300 to 312 across all network. When I help to popularize that number there. We are also hearing the number for NDMA, we are 1199, and your number. Madam Minister, very quickly, this law we are talking about, Migration Deportation Bill, what's the status of the law? Quickly. You get my agenda.
Well, thank you. When the brother Ifono say in 2022, the government enacted what we call Anti-Human Trafficking and Migrant Smuggling Act. Because when the issue of anti-human trafficking, you don't need Boko, and even the migration, the illegal one, when they need to them here, this law might come into place immediately. But we get other laws then. Some of them are old, but they're still there. We have the non-citizen registration, immigration, and expulsion, which is probably you will call deportation, Act of 1965. We get that. We also get the Citizens Act of 1973. Then we get the Refugee Protection Act of 2007. So we actually get the legal instruments for back this up. And one thing we sometimes we get for look at and review, because you don't take that the 1965 one, when I had this Registration, Immigration and Expulsion Act of 1965, where even they give the Internal Affairs Minister for letting deport somebody from this country. Yes? Wonderful. So we get for review that and they say. But we get the legal instrument. So that make you know that. Thank you.
So the minister very thorough. He asked a question, okay, all the law there. And I know say the learned Attorney General and Minister of Justice, they also look at this constitutional review process with the board, citizenship commissions, about of it and they consider. A couple of quick questions for me about safety fire officer. In fact, the fire force chief reports to us the first call for the fire, and because they get a dedicated fire safety officer within State House. Now, from that person name, the first person will make the call. Sub-officer Edith Dubuya, one of the national heroes in this. He did it, and the ultimate prophet the fire, and the privilege for it. So yes, we get that. Sometimes you get a system, you can check all rooms, somebody go back, you left it all, sometimes a floor, now all this kind of investigation we will look at. But if the question is whether we get that possibility, I will assure you, see, we get people who will look at safety, we need to strengthen their provision and they do better. That's true. The second question about the specificity of office them. I mentioned this in the radio. They just don't tell us on the third and fourth floor. The third floor, now the west wing, now is severely damaged. Fourth floor, it gets some level of damage. It just says in 2 specific offices. Now, in all our efforts, the other offices were affected in other ways. The water, the smoke, the debris, and it's for glare. On one radio show, somebody asked me, which specific office then? Not only job, and I don't know why they look through debris for telling you, I say, oh, this person never is there, this person never is there. But I don't go on record for confirm, say, indeed, the press secretary office will be one of the offices that will be severely affected. That, we see that. Parts of advisor and the office, including Chairman KKY, parts of the office was also affected. Not as severely, not at the same level as how my brother used to take it to my office and be affected. The reason we say these things is twofold, and people don't ask me, like this, all the offices we affected. No. But what if I want to know something? One, we know they hide. This is public information. This is for the government. Two, if we get the information, we give you bulk. You want from test information, make sure, say, for example, me, I don't always come and say, I don't lie to the people of this country. But still, at times, so if I say this or not, I'll tell you what I know and the facts. The others, I don't know that office this, that office that, that office not there. But I don't think, say, the interest for me, that this person office, that this person office. All of them people in Sierra Leoneans, all of them work for the state, all of them will care about them deeply. And any if you affect any of them one day, for affect you all. I was touched when I go visit the board and office, you should to Master D and see the extent of it. But I was touched because my state house, because of the seat of power. I was touched when I go inside the two offices at the fourth floor. Any service it affects all our Sierra So that note for pay attention to. Now we'll take this final round of questions. Apologize, we'll do another 10-15 minutes and then we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. Go.
I want to ask you maybe I'm not going to 34 fire incidents.
Thank you. Yes, number 2. My name has been shown a report for Parish. Specifically to the fire force, we want to know basically the number of fire incidents we will get from January to this month. I can't please. We want to know whether if it is a challenge or to surpass the number of fire incidents we get last year from January to this very month last year. You understand? We want to do comparison analysis for know whether we don't get to some point where the continue for their free. So that's it. Alright, number 3.
Yeah. With them Mahmoud Silla from the Nature newspaper. Chief Fire Force Officer, which advice you give to Sierra Leoneans regarding the rampant or rapid fire incidents in Sierra Leone? And secondly, this means to say Sierra Leoneans or some Sierra Leoneans they don't adhere to the advice because DGGO attests to the fact the interagency meeting, the Sierra Leone Meteorological Agency give an advice that due to the heat this year, we get for experience a lot of fire incidents. So let we adhere to the preventive measures. Does this mean Sierra Leone, some Sierra Leone, they don't adhere to the advice of some of these agencies?
Thank you. Would that be 4? Yes, 4 and 5 years.
Mina Jaffa Davis from Radio Democracy. Not just observation. One with regards to the timing we ability to apologize for. This is approximately, if I'm not forget, the 5th time we this press conference they go above 3:30 we were agreed for. And also we see sign language. We know the speaking and it make a worry for us if this girl will make we don't therefore begin see the meeting up before and now the meeting up again. It make a worry if this girl will therefore see female person at the panel. But my question is whose kind of pressure will all this be put to government-related ministry, department, and agency with regards to the work for one, particularly for the Ministry of Information, for continuous to do civic education, where you get issues of electricity challenge, now fire challenge, and other issues them on how citizens them for change their behavior. Then again to other ministry, department, and agency, how they say will get for play their role. The whole thing NDMA they talk about and the fire service they talk say better good than all the people know the take advantage of some of the land things they will ever do and things like that.
All right, thank you. Final question. Thank you.
Mr. Bonge, according to your statement, you mentioned, say, other than the State House issue, which according to you, put in appliances, then according to you, other than that one, the 215 fire outbreak we don't get, with exception to waiting Mr. Magura State, CC State, say, applying bushes and Kimbon. What you now find out, say, from the investigation, that you're responsible for the 215 outbreak of fire incident that we don't face. Madam Minister, according to Usman Kamara, he said he go now for who fair job. We clearly send a signal. The It's a result of joblessness in the country. Mr. Kamara and the other lady left the country for who risked their life. What should they do as a ministry and the government in particular? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We get to the final round of questions. It's interesting, Jamba Valley keep to the time, but now you question income as part of the above the time. The reason I can do that now because if I stick to the time, stick to sensu, I will say I know I balance the question. Or be safe one for when you come. But fair points, and you know me, I will commit at the contact to time. I'll stick to that. With commitment to start, and also you don't need for what you're all about. Making sure we get an inclusive panel. On the sign language, it's still the cap you see they provide that to somebody really, but we this week again you will notice the SLBC not there, and they take from we when they can get will get multiple cameras and make it on moving forward. So they are for the possibility that right now, and as something we work on this ministry. I don't tell us not to say every day we don't change here, we don't make here cameras and all things. We change all and they wait no more, give small time, patience people they will come. But a good question on day one and day. So make I just come back to you, sir, because we don't run out of time. I really want to keep this very short. I want direct answers now. 34 updates. I want you give me the 34 updates. This advice on fire incidents. Any additional idea about the cause of the fire incident that you report we don't have to know what they are. And the main question in that go ahead.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister, and thank you, colleagues. For the 34 incidents, this morning around 6 o'clock in the morning, we received calls saying 34 they were fired. In fact, we marshal. Not when they talk, say, now only for State House. We marshal 5 new fire engines that they washed on at 34 this morning. Yeah, and we aim for that fire in less than 2 hours. And we realized, for say, that fire, you know, that fire will not get nothing from with electricity. In fact, now we are house, now store outside they keep material, and whenever they get emergency, like for example, you get Ebola, you get smallpox, the military want for to assist the civil population, and inside that story, and then they put them, build them, put them other alpha material they put them using. That particular thing, they cannot get one electrical wire with it, not to anything to do with electricity. On the contrary, we realize say fire be very close, and burning fire, you get radiant heat. We aim before enter into the building. So that is the update for 34. In terms of the fire for last year and this year, I will tell you, see, from which we don't get so far. This year we don't get an increased number of fires. Comparatively, when you look at the number of months, the month then when the fire did. Advice to Sierra Leonean and the cause of the fire, probably I'll just need for taking the two together because it's the same. The common cause, you don't say, if I'm not able to call one by one, this host and this fire, this host, but I will tell you the common cause. Common cause of fires in this country, get for you with carelessness. People there, we within at the east, we already know sin and report them, we rely back. Some man they even left the kitchen. They go begin cooking at the veranda. Sometimes when stranger they come, move the cold pot from the veranda to the parlor. And inside the room. Yeah? So if you begin to take combustible material into your premise, then you'll be ready for that kind of situation again. You get people then inside the city and other parts of the country where left the electrical appliance on. They're not, some man not even outside the switch. You get ACU, you get bulb, even this bulb in there, so this bulb always in there. If you left them on continuously, so till it become heated up, everything gets what you call an ignition point. When you begin for heat and heat and heat, so till you reach the ignition point of that material, then of course that material will come into fire. Yeah. So we all get ignition point. Yeah. This bad housekeeping, you go now so housekeeping people they will get things they will not want again. Now on top of the attic they put up. Man they go full up the attic. You know what they happen? Radiant heat they come out in the sun, they continue for one on top of the panel. And you get what you call spontaneous ignition. We not get anything for root any other thing, but then just like how you get that bomb and fire, not your person they put again. But because Toti Bokude, you get what you call spontaneous ignition when it take place. You get bushfires there. Minister will explain to now how bushfire and a very good firefighter, so I'm not going to explain that anymore. But bushfire, they said it take place. You get electricity or electrical fires. The other car will say, something can come, you will get rise and fall in current. We very few times we don't notice that. But then the most important thing, the people that when they use electricity inside this country, they always therefore rely on cheap electrical appliances. Especially the extension they will take for connect. I mean, you can imagine somebody gets one more extension, he connects in one connect fridge, he connect television, he connect this, he connect that, and then they can connect in electrical. But you want an extension. And you know, according to I know the science, you go to call catch-up law. This plus this plus this plus this, it will always result to this. Fire now a reaction. Once you get the correct temperature, you get the material with the one, what they call the combustible material, you get the heat source, and then you get oxygen. Once them treat the day, you able to put them in the correct combination, fire must take place. Yeah? So, my advice to Solomon and to we all, especially when we work, or even when we work, we host them and the place of office they go within. If I come out my office, disconnect all your electrical appliances. Not even wait for somebody where they will call say this person an estate officer. Me your office where are they? Light go 1 minute at the time. And they come out in my office, they go and they come out for Canada, we want all office day off. Yeah? So you do that. Those are the common advice I will give to Sierra Leoneans. Then probably I will end up with one thing. Say, when una hearing the fire engine in alarm don't come, you are gonna give away. Exactly. Because now another source for the slowness. Yeah. I'm not going to bang that in down to Kawude before. Definitely I will not do that. And for try for negotiator, I will slow the time. And other person they per weeks. Now in your corner for make a go and go ever. So all the one you use to go. When my name is Yari, gonna give away so that we get easy access to the fire.
Thank you so much, sir. And thank you for your leadership. Somebody asked that question about the bullet weight is in place of you and the civics. It's an important question. Now, me and him, in fact, we don't get meeting already for discussing fire safety laws and regulations, the popularization we talk about. Now we mobilize, we make sure see, then message we don't give so we break up. This video all we share publicly. We do another say this press conference after we do a summary, Mende, Creole, Timini, Liba, and Fula. When they get the audio as well, we share all over the country, maybe all the radio stations will aim for carry that message. And part of the effort, we need to do more. Inshallah, we will do more. General, before we go, I want you 1 minute quickly for your last word, and then Minister, you will comment on that day. You will get the final word before we go. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Issues around disasters concerns everybody in the society. Not only for NDMA, no more here. Not only for National Fire Force. Now we all be concerned. I believe we know some neighbors and they were very, very stubborn. Especially with their attitude to fire. When you talk, you say not in business. Make a business. Only complain. Let people go there. We can sit down, we see bad things they happen, we don't talk. Pass the water can, they go inside some areas and let them begin run, they can complain. They rain them in a road. Not just the place don't begin that. If I open and say the water, the rain don't begin that. They are not pay attention. And this medium, we are journalists there. Now they use for disseminating information. They are going to support me. those support to people so that we will prevent disasters that don't happen. Before able to make sure we pay attention to the environment. If we not take care of our environment, we need to take care of you. What I know, in the Fenio road, fire will don't begin to God now bravery no more, make the wire and they will not state house fire. We need to support. Thank you so much.
Thank you, General, and thank you for your service. Madam Minister.
Okay, so the brother been asked the question, say, if we don't believe, say, now because job not this salon make people when they go in search of jobs. As much as people then get a different perception of why people travel, meanwhile for tell you, say, there are scenarios where people they don't travel, where they're not even done the college self. Just because they see that opportunity, every small opportunity, people like to jump at it as long as there's an oversee. And this is not the mentality we will get for clear. You have to be clear about who side you go, which you go meet, which you therefore plan yourself. And at this with young people they need for understand. Me and Mr. Minister, we get for get sessions really across the universities, across other places, communities, let people be able to understand this. And the ministry, through the anti-human trafficking, they don't do that in that community engagement. And I believe they will continue. Right now, with this present government, we all know, say, there are opportunities. We get the 5 game changers. When the government in plan, we know, say, government they put a lot of priority on agriculture. That perception on agriculture before, where people they feel say, now you will not go school no more for dropouts there, it don't change you. Because we don't understand, say, you are better off and you make more money in agriculture. And agriculture is not just limited to rice growing. There are other areas where people they make money. Even I don't see somebody when a student in college, they grow in your poultry. Yes, where they will use for sustaining self and the family. So there are opportunities that you can tap in here when they come together as young people. The Minister of Agriculture don't always talk from get a corporate farming. Even me on behalf of the ministers, when they come just now, they can show the ministerial farm. Yes, because now opportunity we serve one side, let people they land say, not because we are ministers, would they well go to go sit down in our office. No, we go to the farm. And we want to let people that emulate that you lead by example. When I don't see President Bio self, when I see your farm. When I see President Bio your farm, if they go to a village, you get all the people that they get big family. Why can't we do the same? We already now we get a village there, we get a place there. You can live in Freetown, but you can go and do your farm. So there are a lot of opportunities. What about innovation and technology? When another part of the 5 game changers, when I also don't see the youth employment scheme, where Boku youth and even this PNT will see how they integrate them into different opportunities. Let us look out for the opportunities in country before they look outside, because outside might be risky. I want to end on the note say, we can also today purposely for campus the message say, human trafficking is real. And it's not only real, it's horrific. The experiences where even there not be one talker. Some people, when they lock them in that prison, they come at night, then they open the water panel, then they rape them. We have to say these things so that people understand, say, it is not all rosy out there. Now, a risky venture, think twice, consult, go ask questions before you take that venture. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, the Honorable Minister for Social Welfare, Honorable Melrose Committee. I want to take this opportunity now to say thank you to all for our patience and all the media partners. I want to remind you say April 27, Salon turns 64 years. April 28th, we organize the first national symposium on Salon Day, what we call April this year, the celebration. And the theme will be with a focus on reclaiming April 27, the importance of April 27. Within our keeping, you know, to get invitation, we get prominent historians there, we get a first national event with a focus on civics for celebrating the 64th anniversary and a new culture who they start in Salon. As I can see, I don't be joined by my co-host for today. What's your name? What's your name?
The blush.
This goes here today, don't forget his name. This is my son, he's 3 years old. His name is Mahasano Siba. And we have my other son there, he's 7 years old. His name is Alpha Madiba. So today they all took a walk with me, they do with me throughout. But I want to say thank you to me panelists there as well for our work and our all for the support tool that they continue to give you until next week. Assalamu alaikum.